People of the internet, I have a problem. I wanna make a video about SKYGERFALL, the mod that allows you to play the full main quest of Daggerfall in Skyrim's engine. However, it seems that I have stumbled upon an issue. I am too mentally attached to this character. I can't be bothered to start a new one. Oh, but if only some god were to say, I don't know, give up their heart and soul in order to make time and space work in funny ways. Oh, but if only that were to happen. Wait, what is this? Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know he did us right like that. Well, this is a nice place. Why is Mike the liar here?
Mike knows much and tells some. Mike knows many things others do not.
Welcome, this is the plane of Lorkhan, where all things are reborn, including you. Oh, I have found Dreamsleeve, secret meeting area. Well, this looks promising. Oh, yep, found it.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With the spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and as your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
He said it! He said it! So for this mod, they went ahead and voiced the entirety of the main quest, which originally isn't voiced. So based on that fact alone, I can safely say that this mod is probably better than actual Daggerfall. So apparently, on our way to Daggerfall, a storm hit our boat and we barely made it out alive. It's interesting to see what dungeon design was back then, which is to say, there wasn't much dungeon design. It's just a bunch of enemies tossed out haphazardly in barely decorated rooms. The dungeons in Daggerfall were elaborate and huge, filled with dead ends and paths that lead nowhere. So this is the unbridged version, and it's still confusing. Though a large part of that might be attributed to Daggerfall being procedurally generated, I still can't help but feel a bit interested by them. With the benefit of hindsight, they invoke some very interesting emotions. They are part very goofy, very boring and confusing, but there's also something endearing about them. It's interesting to see where we came from, and they still have a cult following behind them. And I will admit that their sheer scale, although repetitive, is certainly beautiful in a way, if nothing else because of how massive they were. You will see the tiniest entrance to a cave, only to realize that it's actually a labyrinthian underground city. You know, these really were difficult times for the people of Daggerfall. There is famine, there is war, there is political instability. A lot of people were suffering, but not for the guy supplying orange and grey stones. That guy was doing just fine. Wait, is this what I think it is? Oh, we're so back. Move over, Skyrim. And here we are, finally free. Now, you might wonder how we ended up all the way down there after being brushed away by a storm. I don't know. Magic. Hello, Mr. Crow. Why are you not a real crow? This map looks massive, but it isn't. It might be a 1/1,000,000th of how large actual Daggerfall was. Okay, now what was it the Emperor wanted? Something about a ghost? The music and the vibe of the actual game certainly hit different. It feels like more classic fantasy and not so much like the Elder Scrolls we came to know after Morrowind or even Redguard. Also, the names are all in French, so apparently someone left a note for us at the nearby inn. I've heard about your accident at sea. Literally how? I just spawned. It is a well-known fact in the Elder Scrolls that in every church there has to be someone busting a move. Also, care to listen to the music? It sounds like RuneScape.
It would probably be more gainful to investigate those who might have wronged Lysander, to find the cause behind his torment.
So the TLDR of what Lady Prisiana tells us is this. Finding out why the spirit of King Lysander keeps haunting people and shouting vengeance, vengeance, vengeance is more useful than simply exercising the spirit. Apparently the letter the Emperor sent to the Queen was never delivered because of the war, and also we should now go talk to the Queen because she's looking for a mercenary to go find out what happened to Nulfaga, the King's grandmother. She also gives us a house, which I never felt the need to use, not even once.
My husband's poor grandmother Nulfaga is rumoured to be in very frail health, her once brilliant mind almost utterly destroyed. She has locked herself in her castle in the Hrothgarian mountains, and experiments in magical studies with no regard for her own safety.
That crown is the most high polygon thing in his entire outfit.
I would know of her condition, but few possess the bravery to face the horrors of her castle and speak with her.
Okay, now let's not get silly. What kind of horrors can there be in an old castle that an old lady resides in? Oh boy. Hello?
Command me, and entry shall be yours.
I'd like a salad, please.
Hello, is this Nulfaga? Does Alduin know about this?
Eternal ruin. I tell the door to my soul to shut up.
I feel like she's doing great, guys. My deepest condolences for the loss of your son.
I thought I killed you. How did you not drown in the storm I conjured? Murderer.
She's so friendly.
But wait. No, you are not responsible for my son's death after all. You are the Emperor's friend. Please find whoever killed my son.
Alright, I'm just gonna say it. Confessing on a serious crime whilst munching on bread and then requesting something important of the guy you just tried to kill, I feel like that demands respect.
Command me, and entry shall be yours.
Oh, shut up already.
You are worthy.
Oh, there's his ghost. And they're unkillable. Okay, let's go.
I need you to promise me on your ancestors' honor that you will do what you can to help me. And never breathe a word of what I say or what you see to anyone else anywhere. Will you so swear?
No.
I will trust you then. The matter concerns my mother-in-law, the Dowager Queen of Daggerfall and widow of Lysander Minisera. As mistress of the household finances, I have noticed that she has been paying for the upkeep of a fortress called Castle Necromagon, complete with a large platoon of soldiers.
Imagine looking at your balancing checks and then going, guys, who ordered an army? And you got the castle premium? Minisera? Come on now. This is wasteful spending. Right, what am I doing here?
You will have to trust that my suspicion of her activities is justifiable, for I am not in a position to offer proof. What I need for you to do is go to Castle Necromagon and find that parcel of letters, or any other information about her activities there.
So here's the deal, right? We go to a castle, we kill everyone there on suspicions that they might be plotting against us, we find a single note that says we're plotting against you, and then we use that note to justify the killing we have been doing all the way up until this point. The note says something about conspiring with orcs. Everyone also tries to speak in Old English. As a franchise, I am glad we moved past that point. Your Majesty, your in-laws have been talking shit.
How very sad.
Suddenly, you realize that a note has been discreetly slipped into your pocket, but you have no idea by whom. The letter says, "Dur, come visit Castle Wayrest." Okay. Is that the real Queen Berenzaya? Hello, I am a massive fan. I would just like to say, I heard you like barbed khajiit.
Mara, that is a relief to me. Do not ask any questions. Get this letter to a certain high-level sorcerer at the Necromancer's Crypt. I need the letter delivered and a response from King of Worms in my hand 1 month from now at the absolute latest.
Now we have to deliver a letter to the King of Worms.
Very good. If you are not rewarded with death by the loyal servants of the Barrow, give this note to Princess Morgaya, please.
There is nothing suspicious about this. His voice is done very well though. Hey, I did what you wanted. Can you now tell me about the letter?
The letter you seek is in the hands of Gortwog, the warlord of the Orcs. He bought it from the Thieves' Guild of Daggerfall after one of their number stole it from Queen Albikai. I confess I don't know why the Emperor sent it to Albuquerque. The girl is innocent to a fault, and everyone knows that Gothrid is not the loyal vassal to the Emperor today that Lysandus was. If you really want to find this letter, you should get in good with Minisera, the former Queen of Daggerfall and Queen Mother to Gothrid. I wouldn't directly approach her. Start with someone of lower station. There is a certain maid, Sindasa, who may prove useful.
I am so lost in names. Putting your hand in your pocket, you realize that another note has been slipped into your pocket without your knowledge.
How does this keep happening?
Now we have to visit Castle Sentinel in Hammerfell. Oops, my hammer fell. Anyway, we'll come back to this later.
I might know a bit of information about that letter, milady. Now mind you, I ain't giving it away.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole!
Sindasa, Albuquerque, King Gothrid, late King Cameron, King Lysandus, Sir Regbert, Knights of the Dragon, Lord Bridwell. Try to find out why a letter addressed to me was delivered to Albuquerque.
How many people have lost a single letter? Okay, now we're off to Orsinium. In case it seems that the entire main quest of Daggerfall is just a huge fetch quest, that would be because, it is. Dude, this is Orsinium. Orsinium fell off. This is a very discreet location to hide a letter. Surely no one will think to look here, in the massive chamber that has a column made of marble in its center. What does this letter say? I have grave news. The totem of Tiber Septim has been found. You know what this means? The power behind Tiber Septim could be unleashed upon Tamriel again. Rumor has it that Lord Woodborn, a minor lord of Wayrest, has possession of it. He will doubtless lose it again. You must persuade him to turn it over to you or Lady Brisiena. The court of Wayrest has no love for King Lysandus, but you still have influence there. I am asking you to use it on my behalf. Yurio Septim. They're talking about that one nihilistic mecha, aren't they?
Were you able to recover the letter?
No.
I am sure the totem will find its way into your life somehow.
I like how no one knows its actual name, so they just call it a totem. Okay, now we're actually going to Sentinel. Wait, why is there a zombie here? A note has been stitched to the zombie's decaying flesh. This can only be one person.
Lysandus was in love with his court sorceress, a noblewoman named Medora Direnni, and during the war with us, his queen found out. They say that while her husband was gone, Queen Minisera banished Medora from the court. My sister, Abakai, is queen now, part of the treaty to ensure peace. But Minisera still resides at Castle Daggerfall as the Dagger Queen Mother.
Who would have known that high school gossip and political affairs would have so much in common? This is unbelievable. Even the Underking lives in his own castle. And why does everyone live in a castle? What's the real estate market looking like in Daggerfall exactly? Navigating these castles, by the way, feels kinda like sniffing glue while running on a treadmill. And there it is. Tower Zero. It looks terrible. The only structure in this franchise that was made by gods. And it looks terrible. And not only does it look terrible, it's impossible to navigate through. There is a dude banished here, impaled through the heart. I wonder who he is. Oh, but if only some god were to say, I don't know, give up their heart and soul in order to make time and space work in funny ways. You wanna see a door? You wanna see a door? Okay, I'll show you a door. Here you go. This is a door. It took me 15 minutes to figure this out. I had to look at the minimap. Finally, I found her. I'm not joking. I have been wandering around this place for about an hour.
I need a certain rare item. The horn of a great unicorn used to break the curse on Direnni Tower. If Nulfaga is indeed mad, you must search her castle for this horn yourself and bring it back to me. I will expect you back soon.
Oh, me and her go way back.
I thought I killed you.
I am so grateful for the gift of levitation. Please, Todd, when Test 6 comes out, we need levitation back. I mean, we have it already, but now we just call it TCL. Dungeons in Daggerfall be like an imp, a spider, and an archer sitting in a room, doing God knows what. I don't know where I'm going. Does this look helpful at all? There we go. We found the great horn of a unicorn. Hersin will never forgive me. I hear that human unicorns are besties. You know, I can understand the dungeons being complicated, but why are the castles so labyrinthian? Look at this! This is a castle! These people want to play Maze Runner just to go outside.
What bounty? There is an item, a painting, that is hidden somewhere within Castle Wayrest. I desire this item for reasons you need not worry about.
A painting, you say? Sure. Why are there naked men under your stairs? There's a clear subtext here, and I'm not gonna be the one to say it, but I think that we all know what's happening here. Someone has pickpocketed the people of Castle Sentinel.
Why do you disturb me?
Why do they call him Mini Marco? Is there like a bigger Marco somewhere?
Carolus was a sorcerer of no mean skill. He is now a lich, deep in the bowels of the castle. I am giving you a special scarab. If it is close to him when you destroy his physical body, his soul will be trapped in the scarab.
Why a scarab though? So I'm doing the quest for Mini Marco, and I had to look a few things up. Apparently, in regular Daggerfall, this is perhaps one of the most annoying puzzles in the entire game. Dare I say, one of the most annoying puzzles in the entirety of gaming. So for SKYGERFALL, they had to tone it down a bit, and after toning it down, I can safely say that I still can solve it. I've been here for 15 minutes, and here is the leech. There you go. I have done your bidding. I have desecrated a grave for the King of Worms, in the name of the Emperor, of course. So this is interesting. Apparently this spell is made to make you run quicker. It doesn't feel any different for me though.
As you know, Tiber Septim was the first Emperor of Tamriel. Toward the end of his wars of conquest, he betrayed his battle mage, Zurin Arctus. When Zurin died, his soul refused to leave his body, something to do with the mysterious Numidium. Since that time, Zurin Arctus has lived on as the Underking.
I feel like this is just anti-Tiber Septim propaganda. Oh, I don't think this is a painting after all. Don't quote me on this one, but this painting looks suspiciously like an Elder Scrolls. I know, the name is in the title. The scene in this painting shifts and twists. You can clearly see the inside of a den. Several men in the livery of Wayrest are intensely debating with a man bearing the coat of arms of Daggerfall. One of the Wayrest men sleeps behind the Daggerfall man, draws a dagger and casually slides it in between his ribs. The image fades as the life ebbs from his body. There might be a metaphor or an allegory going on here, but I think I'm too stupid to figure it out.
Well done. Did you perhaps examine the painting?
Nah dog, I ain't even about that. I ain't even trying to be a moth priest.
Excellent.
Yo, bro, who got you smiling like that? Like,
This is getting ridiculous. Another note mysteriously appears in my pocket by the Underking. He tells us to go to the Temple of Zenithar in Sentinel.
We want you to infiltrate Castle Lugwich in Ikalon and remove the cursed dagger.
This might be the 10th castle I have to infiltrate. The cardio sessions in Daggerfall must be insane. Hey, I got the dagger.
Well done. Let me cast this spell upon the dagger. The dagger is now safe and yours to keep. Not even death can hide a true descendant of Tiber Septim from the Underking. King Lysandus did not die in the Battle of Cringane. He was slain by treachery before it. The monument to him is an empty tomb. His remains were secretly taken to an ancient tomb in Menevia, which I will now reveal to you. I do not know who betrayed Lysandus, nor why his spirit haunts the city of Daggerfall and not the battlefield of Cringane. I have kept my part of the bargain, and you have earned the gratitude of the Underking.
What is happening? Oh, low-key, that kinda scared
I
me.
have discovered a powder that will soothe the ghost of my beloved Lysandus. However, it is in the hands of Gortwog, warlord of the Orcs.
Hey dude, can I have a powder?
The dust can be found in the mausoleum of Dark Ivarin on her own island.
Okay.
Yeah, have you been in touch with
Oh, no.
Every single quest is just a fetch quest. And there's the powder. Very informative. So this is supposed to be the king's actual tomb. Wait, these statues look familiar. Another dead end. Yep. Still playing Daggerfall, but in Skyrim. And we put the ashes here. Your Majesty, you look kinda lit.
You soothed my rage. I do not seek to be placated. I seek vengeance upon he who slew me. If you'll truly lay my spirit to rest, be the instrument of my vengeance against Lord Woodburn of Wayrest.
So it was Lord Woodburn all along. Who's that guy? Check this out. Check this out. Boom. Secret door. No one expects the bend over candle. Except, well, maybe everyone. Yep, I'm lost again.
You're the Emperor's spy.
I thought you would have been made out of wood.
And now it will be a pleasure to slay you. On guard.
Wait, what do you mean? French is canon in Elder Scrolls?
Have you discovered the identity of my son's murderer? So, Lord Woodburn is the slayer of my dear Lysanders. There shall be justice, and it shall come from my hand.
She's fucking menacing. It's always the grandmas that scare me.
You would do best to stay clear of Woodburn Hall and Wayrest for some time.
About that. Alright, question. Where do we go from here?
Would you go into Castle Daggerfall and retrieve the totem of Tiber Septim?
And there it is. The totem of Tiber Septim. Giving it away.
You are my new host. Know this now and resolutely. You are not worthy to carry the totem of Tiber Septim.
This one piece of dialogue seems to be kind of frozen.
Only those of his bloodline may carry me. I will give you a year and a day to accomplish this.
Alright, can you give me like 10 minutes?
Hand over the totem, or we'll slaughter you where you stand.
I mean, okay, sure. What if I just lie?
You don't even have it. Now I'm going to kill you just for the fun of it.
As much as the plot of Daggerfall isn't that much in depth, there are some lines that get you. After you get the totem, all the parties you have interacted with so far give a letter to the player attempting to persuade him to give them the totem. Centuries ago, Tiber Septim ruled the land and forged an empire with great Numidium. The secret of the Numidium's power lies in its heart, carried within the Mandala. It is the heart of Tiber Septim's battle mage. It is my heart. It is my Mandala. It is my totem. It belongs to me and none other. Okay, objection. What about Wolfhearth? Now thankfully, you don't actually have to sweat about which is the right option, because in the end, every single option actually happened. It's called a dragon break, and it happens when you mess around with the Numidium. The Numidium makes time work in a very funny way. Around it, the laws of time break, but TLDR, everyone got their way, simultaneously. Everyone, except the orcs. What happened to the orcs is as follows. They used the Numidium to make their own Orsinium. Okay? A few years after they did this, the Orsinium got sacked. Again.
I send you now to the mantellan crux, the safeguarded prison of the Mantella. Look for a green jewel of unusual size.
Isn't that like an emerald from Minecraft? The following sequence of events is a bit puzzling. Apparently, this is the place where Tiber Septim hit the Mandela. However, this place is absolutely ridiculous. Look at it. It's supposed to be in Aetherius. It's just as clumsy and filled with random enemies as the other dungeons in Daggerfall. And moreover, it looks like a fever dream. And I am not entirely convinced that it is in Aetherius. More so, it seems to be bordering the plains between Aetherius and Oblivion. Why am I saying this? First of all, look at it. Second of all, if this is Aetherius, how come Sheogorath is here? And thirdly, yeah, actually, why is Sheogorath here?
Greetings!
Although this place is very weird and clumsy, and although the things that happen here make no sense, as in, at all, I can't help but appreciate the absolute, how would I call it? Wackiness of all these assets placed together in what is considered an important area. It's so clumsy, and yet everything is so bizarre, and the basic rules of dungeon designing have been destroyed so much that at this point you don't even question it. I also have to say that the creators of SKYGERFALL have done an incredible job in reenacting all of this in Skyrim's engine. However, keep in mind that the original Daggerfall, difficulty-wise, is a hellish experience. Sheogorath, I'm not gonna lie, you're kinda creeping me out right now. Look at him! He's just standing there, menacingly! What are you even doing in Aetherius? If this is Aetherius, and not just a border plane, do you have any idea how strong this implies Sheogorath to actually be? Hey again, Sheogorath.
Greetings! You dare much by intruding here. Nevertheless, I will allow you to proceed, provided you prove as receptive as rumor reports. You may be aware that I am a master of the blade. But what is my other favorite weapon? Answer correctly. Then arm yourself.
He looks so different in Daggerfall.
Wrong!
Okay, never mind. He's the exact same.
Jolly good guess.
Crossbow? What do you mean a crossbow? When did Sheogorath ever use a crossbow? Oh my god! Now that's a crossbow. And there it is. The dream of every Minecraft villager. The Mandela. I went with the Under King ending. I think he had it the worst out of all of them. Other than maybe the orcs.
One more thing I can offer you. You have made many friends, but also many enemies, because of your choice of who commands the Numidium. The break in time that has resulted allows me to grant you a unique opportunity. If you wish, you may be transported to another time, another place.
Huh. Well, why not?
Very well. Prepare yourself.
No. No.
Hey, you're finally awake.
No! Just kidding, we're back in Lorkhan's realm. So, in short, what is the plot of Daggerfall? I'm not sure. I gotta be honest, I got lost in the names, like an hour into the recording of this video. So I asked ChatGPT to make a comprehensive summary. Here you go.
You're the Emperor's little errand bitch, sent to the Iliac Bay, aka a massive-ass region full of squabbling medieval freaks to do two things. Find out why King Lysandas is still ghosting around screaming like a banshee. Handle a letter that somehow went missing and might start a full-blown political meltdown if it lands in the wrong crusty hands. So you, a certified main character, start snooping around, dungeon diving, and running errands for nobles who treat you like a magical DoorDash. As you vibe across the 8 billion towns and 9 trillion dungeons no cap, you start piecing together some spicy-ass lore. That letter? It had basically exposing the Emperor being messy AF trying to manipulate some ancient golem called the Numidium, which is a gigantic, reality-warping mech that can literally stomp continents. Fast forward through a few political backstabs, necromancer beefs, Dagger drama, and you get to the big climax. You find the mantellan.
Hear me now! Free Nelson Mandela! Free Nelson Mandela!
AKA the Numidium's soul battery, and whoever you give it to gets to boot up the robot and flex on everyone else like it's Pacific Rim, Fantasy Edition. But here's the gag: the ending you pick doesn't matter, because Bethesda hits you with a multiverse go BRR moment called the Warp in the West. Where like, all the possible endings happen at the same damn time. Canon who? We multiversal now, baby. TL, DR for the TikTok attention span. You're a divine Uber Eats driver for the Emperor, who ends up unlocking a god mech and triggering a lore nuke that splits the timeline like a Marvel post-credits scene. Politics, ghosts, Daedra, and world-ending golems. Just another Tuesday in Tamriel.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you all learned something. In the world where the scrolls are elder, everyone can win. Even the corrupt politicians, even the evil, even the necromancers, and even the good. Everyone except the orcs. Have a good day, unless you're an orc.